Geography has a part in why Tanzania is in poverty. Zanzibar, an island off the coast consisting of about 1.3 million people or 3% of the country's population, is home to the Swahili culture and language. The people of Tanzania traded with the coastal inhabitants, which in turn traded with other countries, but all of these patterns of economic productivity and trade were disrupted by the Arab slave trade. In their constant search for slaves, Arab traders began to penetrate farther into the interior of Tanzania, more particularly in the southeast toward Lake Nyasa. These now major slave ports became targets of Europe. Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama first explored Africa and claimed control over the ports in 1500. However, they did not settle the area, but only enforced a monopoly over them. In the 1700s, the people rebelled and the Portuguese left. Germans then advanced into Africa in 1884. After a few years, they took control of Zanzibar. The taxes over the people were established to fund German infrastructure, which provoked the African people. The Maji Maji Rebellion of 1907 resulted in the death of 120,000 Africans. Then, after World War I, German control ended, and the British gained influence and moved Tanzania and Zanzibar toward independence. In 1961, the rule of the British ended and Tanzania became independent, and the first prime minister of the country was elected, Julius Nyerere. In the 1970s, Tanzania joined with China, seeking aid. The Chinese agreed, but with the condition that all projects be done by imported Chinese labor, therefore reducing Tanzanian employment. Agriculture in Tanzania is the most generating profit resource of the country, and the majority of the workforce consists of women. About 70% of the crops are cultivated by hand hoe, 20% by ox, and 10% by tractor. The main problems facing farming is falling labor and land productivity due to poor technology and dependence on unreliable weather conditions. Both crops and livestock are affected annually by periodic droughts. A large part of Tanzania's rural population is facing food shortages following prolonged droughts. The emerging crisis is affecting nearly 85% of Tanzania's 129 districts. So far, 3.7 million people have been identified as facing food shortage, or nearly 11% of the mainland population.